Hello, everybody, and welcome to round 4 of the scoring of the GTE LMU Challenge. This is an early access broadcast with just a few select drivers today, just to get us going on this platform. Uh, we got a little bit of a championship going here. We are at the Algarve International Circuit in Portugal. It's a 4.6 kilometer, 2.8 mile race circuit located in Portimao, Algarve region of Portugal. This development includes a karting track, off-road track, a technology park, five-star hotel, and a sports complex, along with apartments. So, pretty cool place to live here, if you ask me. Um, we are in the last few moments of practice before the qualification begins. We've got a few people coming and going out of the server. We're trying to get a couple things situated. We've lost a few drivers. So, with that said, let's hope that we can get some action here. Currently looking at Mr. Mark Ekins. I believe he's driving the Ferrari. See if I can get the tower up for you. So, a small elite quaint group today. We had 8 in here. We had 15 signed up, but things happen in the real world and you can't always make it. So, here we are. This is what we have, and we're just going with it. Who else do we have out here? We have Lauren Martin. We have Mark. That was Lauren. We have Mark Ekins. He's still in the pit. Robin Taylor. Black Cat Motorsports in there. Hugh Smith. None of these guys are out right now. Gilles is out. Oh, and Ed Jones just got himself back in. So let's see. Gilles out on track. He's driving a Ferrari today. So hopefully we can get at least the top 8 back on the server. We have a 15-minute qualification session that is about to begin. So during that 15 minutes, hopefully some of these guys can rejoin that had a little bit of server issues. I know a couple guys were telling me they had trouble getting on the server. I mean, we're in early access with LMU. What a great sim this is, though. I mean, once you get in and you get driving in it, it's really been a pleasure to drive. I absolutely love it. See if I can get us a couple shots here of the circuit while we wait for these guys to head out. It is going to be, like I said, a 15-minute qualification run. So with that said, I'm going to put the qualification information up there. Excuse me. Getting over a little bit of a cold. And the clock has started, so probably see some guys heading out on track now. As I think Nick Westy, he is our current points leader. He's heading out in that Ferrari. To get a couple of views that we're bringing you today. There's an inboard cockpit view of that really nicely done Ferrari. And we got a hood cam and a bumper cam. And then we have the track side cams. So with any luck, we'll get a few more guys before quali. But if not, it is what it is, and we will be racing regardless. The 75-minute races. See if I can adjust my volume here. It looks like it's peaking. If anybody is in the chat, you can give me a holler if you think everything's a little out of whack. Well, like I said, 15-minute quali, 75-minute race, which is going to force a pit stop. We had 60-minute races going on, and some of the cars had an advantage where they didn't have to stop, where the other cars, I think one of the Ferrari was one of the ones that did not quite get the mileage, and they would have had to stop. So just in fairness, to make it equal, everybody's going to have to stop at 75 minutes. Nobody can make that. So a splash and dash is in order. And then again, one of the quirks in LMU, as a lot of you guys that have been racing it know, the fueling request, the pit stop information is a little bit different than what you're used to. As we see Westy crossing the line here, starting his first time lap. You can't just add the fuel that you think you want to add to what you have. You have to put the number of the amount of liters or gallons that you want when you leave the pits in that little request window. Caught a lot of these guys out last time because, I just need 10 liters to finish, but they had 10 liters in the tank, so they didn't get anything, because if you have 10 already, you're going to leave the pits with 10. So you have to put 20 if you want to add 10, if you have 10. So that's caught a couple guys out, but, I don't know from first-hand information, excuse me, if that might be realistic to how you work with your teams, and your race directors and managers and stuff. But anyway, it's a pretty cool feature. These guys just got to adapt to it. As you can see, Westy putting up the first times. He is purple in sector 1 and 2. Excuse me. I am just getting over a cold. I know Mark Ekins did have a purple in sector 2 a minute ago, but Westy just took it over. So let's see. I believe Ekins is ahead of him. Let's just check on Ekins here. You can see he's showing a little bit of purple, but it also is the first lap of the race. So let's see what Mark comes across with, and then we will jump right back to Westy. As he will cross the line now, posting the first time, number 145, and here comes Westy. Excuse me. There was Mark. The game cars just a thought. As you can see, Barrett Erickson has joined us. So good, we're up to 8 now. Good to see you, Barrett. He was on the practice server. Must have had some issues and had to go off, come back on. Brian, I thought Westy was right behind him there, but I was wrong. Let's see, Hugh Smith driving the Corvette. He will be next to cross the line. See his times ticking away there. See what Hugh can do. Takes the checker. And I guess that was his out lap, because it didn't give him a time, did it? All right. Well, currently in second, Lauren Martin in the Ferrari. He's got a purple in sector 1, green in sector 2, so besting his last time. Let's see what he can do. As the leader, Mark Ekins is going to cross the line in a minute too. You can see on my deal, but we already know what his time is. So watch that top time. It might tick in about 1 second. Let's see if it does. 1:44.6. So Ekins improves, but here comes Martin. 8 behind, and he's 0.5 behind. So he did catch up a little bit. Westy currently third, is in sector 1. The next to cross the line will be Ed Jones. He's putting in a quality lap. Good job, Mr. Jones. And Barrett Erickson is on his out lap. Jones with the next time up there. Of course, we've only got 3 times on the board now. So we're almost about halfway through quali. Was hoping to get a few more drivers in here, but hey, it's a nice, elite, quaint group. So it'll be easier on the broadcaster, me, so I won't have to follow the first race. Excuse me. The reason why this says round 4 and it is round 5 is because Round one was a practice test run. It was not scored. So this is actually the fourth round of scoring and the fifth round of the race. So, and again, it's all early access. This is all test. This is a test to broadcast for the most part. This is our test runs here as we get through LMU. So let's see, Mr. Ekins, he's going to cross again. Is he best this time? 144.6 is his own time to beat. And he does not improve on that, but a ripping time nonetheless. Let's see where Lauren is. Lauren's coming in, currently in second. Smith. Taylor puts it up there. So Taylor in the vet using that Chevy American Muscle. Just about a half a second off. And Mr. Smith, Hugh Smith, he's about a second off. Jones, you see, getting a little bit farther behind. Westy currently the points leader in this LMU GTE challenge. He is coming out of the pits now, so I would expect him to put up a pretty decent lap. We shall see. He's on his out lap. Where is Mr. Smith? In fourth, he's about to cross the line. So let's see if Hugh Smith in that Chevy, does he move up a little bit? No, still 1.1 off. Remains there. Gilles is taking a look at the scenery there in that nice blue Macintosh Ferrari. Erickson be on a timed lap now. Let's see how he does. He's going to come across the line. Let's get his time on the board. Barrett is currently second in the championship. And he puts himself up into fifth. So nicely done. Here comes Mr. Taylor. Just going to cross the line again. Let's see if he can better his time. Oh, I'm not seeing any markers for him. He might be on an out lap. Let's see. 0.6 off still. So this might be the start of his hot lap here. You can see down at the bottom, he's ticking off 14, 15, 16. Currently in third. Looking good. Ekins still atop the leaderboard. Marcus put in a lot of practice. He's very consistent, steady driver. So I expect a really good finish from him today in this small, quaint group. He is purple in Sector 1 by just 7/100th. And he's purple in Sector 2 by 0.109, 0.109. So let's see if he might be able to beat that 144.6 that he's got up there. You can hear the drums and the beat in the background of the fans here. That's what LMU is really cool. And the ambiance it creates around the track is really nice. All right, here we go. He's purple and purple. Let's see if we got a record time here for today. 144.6, and can he beat that? 144.3, so he takes 0.3 off. Very nice. So at Sim Racing Online here, these are actually record times at in our own database, because of course this is the first time we've raced LMU here. So we will be setting track records today to hopefully be beaten in the future here with LMU at Sim Racing Online. Our first race had almost 30 drivers, and it was chaos. It was a wreck fest. But now we've just got a quaint group of testers here that are sticking it out. All right, we're down to under 4 minutes, just about 3.5 minutes left. And with the Ekins, Martin, Taylor, and Eckerson, the top four, Smith, Jones, Wesley, and De Silva, bringing up the bottom. But there it is. I knew it. Westy to the top. I had a feeling. There it is. Look at that, 43.6. So He just jumped in that Ferrari, saved it for the end, and he is some 7/10 up on Mr. Ekins now. So, sorry I didn't jump on with him sooner. Would have been nice. But in a small group like this, setting up, pole is going to be important indeed. But I think anywhere that has a chance with a 75-minute race. So nicely done on that last lap by Nick Westy. Ekins and Ericsson comes up, puts himself up 1.2 off. But look at those gaps now, though. You can see that what Westy. Just a really fast driver. Where is Mr. Fourth? Lauren Martin in the traditional red Ferrari, currently in fourth. You can see he lost a little bit in sector 1 there, but he improved. He got 0.2 of it back in sector 2. This quarter mile, it's a very difficult track. Some of the drivers, the real drivers, compare it as a cross between Spa and Nordschleife, actually, because of the different elevations and the up and down, downhills and uphills, and the right-hand turns and the off-camber stuff. So it's been compared to those two tracks combined. I mean, it was built in 2008. I think it's a relatively new track, right? So trying to take the best of two epic race legend worlds, Nordschleife and Spa, and put a little bit of that together here in this. See here, this is some of those uphill, downhill sections. Coming down into this tight lefty hairpin here. Get into the end of sector 1 here. And here's where it gets a little crazy. These little off-camber turns. Let's see if we can get some wheel action. There we go. Then it's up the hill, blind up, then a left coming down the hill. Back to another blind right turn that's changing elevation again. Then downhill again, up to what I find one of the most difficult sections right here for me when I race here is this. Look at these first gears. See, losing it there, you really got to get the car slowed down to make that turn. And then you really have to be patient right here and start this turn early. He's doing a good job. Hang on to it. And then try to get on the gas as soon as possible. And be set up for this sweeping right to the end, where if you hit it just right, you can keep your foot in it. And that's going to knock tenths off of your time. So that was a nice lap there by Lauren Martin. You saw how he kind of lost the car a little bit there. All right, where is Mr. Westy's parked? So we are it. That is it for qualifying. The times are up. I am going to set the starting order. That should be it. So the drivers are going to have about 90 seconds here to get themselves ready for the race. While we're doing that, I'll give you a quick look at the scores. Here you can see Westy up on top there, Black Cat Motorsports. It's got 110 points, and right behind him is Baird Erickson in second place, some 15 back. And then 1 point behind Erickson is Westy's teammate Robin Taylor with 94 points. And then a nice gap down to Edward Jones, 14 back of that, and then Hugh Smith is 5 back of Ed. You can see some of the rest. You can see some of these drivers that are missing today.
For a race start.
So there is the scoring. So with that said, let me see if this starting order here is going to work. There we go. I'm testing out LMU's broadcast as well. So there he is, Wesley first, Erickson third, Taylor fourth. It was Ekins that was second there. Lauren Martin in fifth. Hugh Smith in sixth. And then seventh and eighth will be Ed Jones and Gela de Silva. So there we have that. All right. Let's get ready for racing. These guys are going to start taking the field here. I'm going to bring up the tower. Session info. We're going to auto cycle the gap so that your information should change there on the right as we go. You guys are waiting to get out. 24 seconds. There we go. There's the grid. We'll get some driver information. And let's see what else do they give us here with this pretty cool software. Onboard driver box. So this will give us a box at the top so people are watching. But I'm going to put the 1v1 battle. Let's get that going.
Formation lap has started.
All right. Here we go. Short formation laps. You can see where they're starting. Focus on the leader there. We'll actually go to second place. Ekins with our camera shot. Hope we can keep in on the action here. I'm going to be switching back and forth, and I will give you guys a track map view. I've been working on that, trying to get you a live track map. I have to jump through a couple hoops to make that work, but I am going to give that to you in a minute here. Once the start gets underway. So hopefully for real, we might be able to see him take the green, but maybe not. Again, we are focusing on the number 2 car. We'll go back to the number 1 car. And waiting for the call.
Green flag.
There they go, and we are racing. Oh, it's a great start by Ekins. Ekins jumps out. It looks like he had a nose on Westy there. As you see, Taylor trying to squeeze in there, and Ekins does indeed get a brilliant start and takes the lead of this race, bringing Westy in second. Taylor in third right there. Bringing up with Lauren Martin and Barrett Erickson just behind, and Ed Jones in the trail there. But great start by Ekins. Jumped out to a nice gap. Oh, we got a little bit of a bump there. Oh, that was, it looked like Lauren Martin got into, was that Smith that he got into? I believe it was. So, looks like he's regained himself, though. No harm, no foul. They're still in it. But yeah, that was probably a little bit of a sorry I didn't see you there moment. So there you have that battle. All right. There's the first and second. There's third and fourth with Erickson right on that. All right, now I'm going to try and give you the track. There you go. You should be able to see that up there in your right-hand corner. Oh, who's that? Is that Martin that's off? Martin is off. So after that little bit of a fray on the first one, he's found himself off on the first lap already. So hopefully he can regain himself, get back into this action. As these guys are coming down for the first time, Westy going to challenge. Down the start, finished straight for the first time. It looks like he has got a run on Ekins already. Is he going to dive to the inside? He does. Gets a nose and takes the lead away. So it was, and then he goes wide and gives it right back to Ekins. Excuse me. So these guys are duking it out already in the first minutes of this race. Bringing up behind him, we've got Erickson chasing Taylor. Bet on vet here. As they head down into this Torre VIP section, turns 5 and 6. Excuse me, as Westy just ahead, trying to set him up for another run here on Mr. Ekins. Meanwhile, back at 6 and 7, let's just jump back to these guys because good racing all the way down through the packs. Martin now coming up onto Gilles, trying to get away around Gilles. Oh, and he lost it again. He might have a little bit of damage as we jump back to the leaders here as they are going to be coming through that sector 3, this sketchy turn area. This is so important right here. If you see how he takes this, see how Westy gets through. He gets on the curve. But let's listen if he lifts or not. If he has to lift right here. A little bit of lift right there, but then he's right back on it and he's shifting. So you can see that is so crucial. And I believe he's going to probably be able to close that gap a little bit. All right, that is your chase for first and second. Now third and fourth here, Hugh Smith just behind these guys. Staying with Ericsson in the vet on vet battle here. Just the one Austin and a couple Ferraris and the rest are vets. So interesting choice of cars the guys have made here in this early access LMU GTE challenge. Coming up into this tricky section here. Let's get some wheel action. There we go. Really tough little section right here. It just takes reps. You need reps at this track. It's very challenging. You can see. Hard on the brakes into this little area. Uphill, downhill, off cambers, throwing the car around. And then this tricky turn right here. This is one of the toughest turns right here. All right, and back to the pointy end. You can see Ekins has gapped Westy a little bit here, but we saw those times, that's qualified times. We know that Westy is fast. Closing in. Closes down that gap a little bit. Didn't quite get so much air that time. So Mr. Ekins has his work cut out for him when he's got a mirror full of Westy. And this is another great battle right back here, the Smith and Ericsson battle. And I believe this was a couple of weeks ago we had this same battle. We do have the next round will be at Bahrain, and it'll be a night race. Excuse me. And that'll be in 2 weeks. And then we're going to do the GT3s after that. So this will be the end of the GTE early access testing, and we will go to the GT3s after this and hopefully get some bigger grids. But nonetheless, we are racing. So they seem to be spread out a little bit with the exception of this battle. These are the two closest cars. But in 8th place, there is Ed Jones in that Austin. Gilles just ahead in the Ferrari. And as you can see, he's smoking his tires a little bit there. And then Lauren Martin, who had that issue, he has gotten around both Ed and Gilles. Finds himself in 6th. And you can see it by the track map that he's quite the gap back. And then Westy's Black Cat teammate, Robin Taylor, currently back here in 5th. So as they come down to start finish again, let's check on the leaders. As we saw, Westy on that first lap made that brilliant pass, only to give it all up by outbraking himself. So this is Ferrari versus Chevy. Pretty good challenge there. And then, of course, right behind him, here's Ericsson defending. Let's see if I can find some views here with LMU that might give us the rear. Oh, I'm looking for that. There it is. That's the backup. And I think here's one with the wing. That one's got the wing, but you can't see as much. But that is Hugh Smith back there chasing down Ericsson. So there's a couple of different camera views. Some really, really good stuff when this game gets fully developed. and everything is working. It's going to be some really good features, especially for broadcasting. I haven't even scratched the surface. I do find that sometimes I have to do the integrity file check through Steam just to even get the view keys working. You know, you've got your swingman cam, and you can assign buttons to get a free cam and move it around. And it seems once I run a race, those no longer work, and I have to do a file integrity, and then I get those back for about a race, and then they kind of lock out again. So not sure what's going on there, but you know, like I said, we're in early access. It's all good. Meanwhile, Hugh Smith, he's all over Ericsson this time. He's got to his tail end as they're coming down that last section of it. Let's see, it's GALP, turn 15. I don't know, they call it Galp, I don't know. But down into Primeira here, some of the names of these tracks. I do not speak Portuguese. I am probably butchering all these, but I'm going to call them the way I read them. It's at the turn 1 into 2, and then they go into Lagos, turn 3. And then up the hill, turn 4. Really tricky section. He is just all over him. Onto the Torre VIP, or Torre VIP here by the hotel. I guess that is our apartments or hotels over there on the left. As he's trying to make it through. This is a good battle. Then into this turn 6 and 7 section, heading into Samsung, which is turn 8, which is the uphill right-hander. That is right here. Really tricky. Then downhill into Craig Jones, turn 9. And then up into the namesake Portimao, turns 10 and 11. This top hill section, dropping down into the turn 12. Really tricky there. And then this turn 13, lucky 13 right there. I don't know. I always blow it right there when I'm racing here. I really got to get slow to make that turn. And then Sagres, turn 14, the sweeper. Really important. As you can see that Hugh has gotten around Ericsson. Excuse me. Whilst we were checking those laps out. So nicely done for Hugh to put himself on the podium in third place right now. And then behind these guys, Mr. Taylor, not too far back. He's starting to make his challenge up the line there. And then let's check with Westy and Ekins. Here comes Westy in the Ferrari. You can see that gap that Ekins has put on Mr. Westy, which is like Westy had his chance that first lap. We couldn't make it stick. Comments from a lot of the real drivers say that they like this track due to its comparisons to Spa and Nordschleife, but they also say that it's nice and wide and it's great for overtaking because of its width. So it's something interesting that you hear from some of the real life drivers, and some of these quotes come back from let's see, one of them was, I think, where did I read that? Formula One session, McLaren and Hondas were here. Max Mosley. Yeah. Nice quotes from some drivers. Of course, I can't find them now. It went to New Zealand's Earl Bamber. Oh, it was Nicholas Prost that commented the asphalt was new and the circuit has a little grip. That was back in 2009. So anyway, I digress. Here we go. Looks like the battle right now is this third place. Ericsson now on the charge. And Smith is going to have to do some defending here. And Taylor making his way up to this group. It's a three-way vet battle. And then Lauren, who we saw had misfortunes up there, currently in 6th place, but he's making his way. He's got about half a sector of a gap to the 5th place car, Robin Taylor. Let's see what he can make his way in there. So let's check on the leaders here. Mark Ekins out front. Got that nice gap. Nick Westy does have the fastest lap of this race so far, a 144.4. So as we saw in qualifying, he does have the speed. And Ericsson has gotten back around you, and I missed it. I'm sorry. We got to watch this battle because Barrett Ericsson has just gotten back around Hugh Smith. And Hugh is all over him down the start-finish straight. So as you can see by the track map, this is the only tight racing at the moment. So let's just stick with these guys and see what the heck. Gonna miss any more action as they head into Lagos turn 3. You can see Ericsson get a little tricky there, and he's going to make the move out, and he gives him a little love tap. Says, "How you doing? I'm still here, Barrett." And Barrett's going, "Okay, man, I can handle that. Let's go. I'll take you down into the Torre VIP turn 5. Everybody up in the apartments can have a gander." Like, yeah, don't push me. But here comes Robin Taylor is closing in on these guys as well. So as we check the trap map, Ekins' gap is increased, but look at these guys are duking it. This is a battle. Just trying to make it fast in this deadly tricky area. He's on the inside. Ericsson holds him off. As they head into Portamillo, he's going to look. It's so difficult. He's trying to put the over-under, but then it's a lefty right here. So Barrett Ericsson is in good shape. Let's see what happens on this tight lefty here at turn 13. And who can get out of Sagres with the best momentum? This is where the momentum comes in handy right here. You can make or break your race on these two exits, this turn and right here coming up. Fighting it. It's really tough on the left side tires right here too. So if we start seeing tire wear, I think this is where it's going to happen. It looks like Ericsson's switch for speed. The two bets are pretty well matched there. They head into Primera. The 1, 2, 3 into Lagos for yet another lap as the first 15, 16 minutes have passed. We are under an hour to go. But remember, pit stops are going to come into play here. As you can see Taylor there in this three-way vet battle. Mark Ekins. Looks like, is it safe to leave these guys for a second? Maybe not. I was going to check the leader, but nope. Let's stick with you. He looks like he's getting ready to make another move here. He's all over the rear bumper of Barrett Ericsson, who's putting his car just in the right spot. And I gotta say, it's technical. This track is technical, especially these sections that we're in right now. Who's going to hold up in a 75-minute race? You know, your nerves got to last. They go round yet another time. Check on Taylor there. I mean, he's not too far behind. Three-way vet battle. Is Hugh Smith looking to the inside? Up into Lagos here. Good overtaking opportunity right here. Get it wrong. So as we are looking at this, the leaders is going through the 8th place car of Gilles. So quick to the leader. He just put a lap on Da Silva there in the blue Ferrari. So get back to this battle. As you can see, Taylor's now in the mix. So we have a 3-way battle for the last step of the podium, which is pretty cool. Good to see it. These guys fight. It might even allow Lauren Martin to get. Nah, he's way back there. It's Jones who's in 6th. So Jones has gotten around Martin. And the 5th place car, Ericsson. Ericsson loses it. So what happened there? Taylor got around. Now Barrett's going to have to work his way back to this group. Oh, man. What did I miss? So Smith takes over 3rd. Taylor's now the one to apply the pressure. And Ericsson's going to have to regroup. Now he's got 55 minutes and a pit stop. So anything can happen. But, man, I was blabbing away and totally missed all that action. But hey, it's early access for me too with this, so we're just gonna call it good. And the 2nd place car, Westy, is in the pits. So Westy's stopping now. So Westy's short pitting. It looks like Gilles coming in as well. So Westy perhaps making a move. If you can't catch him, he's trying to go for the undercut. Probably taking him for the finish and putting fresh tires for the last 55 minutes of this race. That could be his strategy. It's Ekins now all by himself out front. Excuse me. As Westy's going to come currently in 5th. He's coming out of the pits now in 5th. So a strategic move by the points leader, Nick Westy, pitting early. Maybe perhaps going for the undercut. And then Ericsson now finding himself in 4th due to the Westy pit stop. And here comes Westy. So Hugh Smith now is in 2nd place. Taylor's in 3rd. And Ericsson is in 4th. But Taylor is on the charge here. So that was quite the early pit stop. A lot of these guys have been deciding to just wait, burn it up, and pit with the last 15 minutes left. But I think Westy's on a mission with his strategy, seeming how he could catch Ekins. Perhaps he's trying to catch him in the pit. We shall see. But I'm thinking that Westy is good to go to the finish of the race now. Let's see. I'm going to step away from the track map for a minute. And I want to look at the tires. Let's see what Westy's got. Okay, so Westy's on the mediums now. It looks like Ericsson's got mediums in front and softs in the front and mediums in the rear probably. Everybody else is on softs. Excuse me. So yeah, I wanted to check that out. Interesting. So that's Westy's strategy. Is he's good to go to the end, I'm sure. As this battle for 2nd place now. You can see Ericsson has dropped back quite a bit, but due to that off he had. As we check on the leader here, who just got through the 7th place car of Lauren Martin. So put Lauren down a lap. Westy's still holding the fastest lap of this race with that 44.4. 144.4. So meanwhile, this battle for 2nd now. Taylor and Hugh Smith. get this right, this is the place to get your overtakes. It's got to be murder on those tires, that big right hand high speed. Your foot is in it, as you can see here. Looking for any kind of a gap, any mistake by Hugh. Looks like he had a really good exit there out of Primera and into Lagos. So he is all over him. As they head down to Torrevieja. See if we can get that cool rear cam. You got it just off the curbs here. Let's get a back shot. There is Robin Taylor. You can see Smith's got a little bit of an advantage there coming out of that last turn into Galop. And they're leaving the straight as Ericsson is just down the straight, so I'm kind of rooting for Barrett to catch up to these guys after that unfortunate mishap that we missed. But meanwhile, Westy, just back of that is Westy in 5th. So Westy just now coming into that last turn 15. Coming down the start and finish straight. And he's pitting again. So what is going on with Nick Westy in this race? Pitting for the second time. Did he get a penalty? I don't know what the heck happened. But obviously, the points leader is in trouble as he's pitted twice now. Giving up 5th. He's going to give up 5th to Ed Jones. It looks like it might have been a stop and go, or maybe he miscalculated fuel. Like I said, it's tricky. The fuel in this LMU, you gotta put in your request of what you want to leave the pits with. If you need 30 liters to finish the race, you gotta put 30 in that pit request. Not just add 5, you can have 25. So wow, did not see that coming. But we do have an epic race for second place going on still. So we'll have to get with Mr. Westy in the post race and see exactly what happened there. He might have got a drive-through or a stop and go. Maybe in his haste to try and catch up, he was cutting a few corners. I think there's 4 cuts allowed before you get a penalty. I think that's what we set it to. Not positive. But we do have a really good battle for second place here between the Corvettes. As they head through the turn 6, 7, and 8 section. Stampsong corner right here. I've spun out here a few times, that's for sure. So back in fifth here, Ed Jones in the Austin. Just having a clean race, cruising fifth place. And Westy is pretty much a half a straightaway behind him. He's about to put the Silva down another lap. But this race for second place is quite the battle. Really curious to see what's going to happen when these leaders have to do their normal pit stop just for fuel. They cannot finish it on a full tank. They're going to need a splash and dash. And who knows about the tires too? As we saw, most everybody's on softs. Westy's on mediums, and Barrett's got like a split. And I wonder if that was on purpose or if it was one of those LMU things, because I've seen that racing at race control where sometimes it puts you on wets. Crazy business, this early access. It's a lot of fun though. All right, we are coming up on 45 minutes left, almost halfway. Let's check out some of the other overlay features here. Let's see. I have a session mid-race results. Let's see what this does. What the heck? Why not? Mid-race result. There you go. So that's pretty cool. There you see. Ekin, Smith, Taylor, Erickson, Jones, Westy, Lorne. And that is your mid-race result. So if I turn that off, do I get the tower back or I gotta, nope, you gotta manually turn it back on. Okay, so we will do that. Well, that's cool. Just checking out how the overlay features are working. And then let's get the battle box up. And then let's put last lap. Or I could choose best lap time. So I put best lap time. That difference there. And I can give the driver box, so it'll give us up on top there. Shows you who we're focused on, and then down below it shows you the battle. So that's pretty good stuff. I'm liking that. Okay, back to the trap map for you. Okay, you see this is the battle on track. Taylor all over it. Cube driving defensively, doing quite well. Erickson, oh, listen to that tire streak. You can see the sparks there. It's just torque in the suspension. That heavy inertia on that left side as they're coming out of there. I want to get the gap to next. How do I get the gap to next? Gap to next. Won't show me on the overlay page. I think these are just gaps to leaders. But yes, okay, here we go. I got it. I understand it now. So it's under a second from Taylor and Smith. And Erickson's only 11 seconds, 12 seconds back of third place. So that's his charge. And of course, Ekins has a 21-second gap on second place. Westy's 3 seconds back of Ed Jones, so he might be taking that position over in a minute here. There is Westy. Let's see, can he see Jones in front yet? Yeah, that is Jones in that Austin up there, that orangey gold Austin. So that is the 3 second gap back to that. So see what happens here as we're coming up on 41 minutes remaining. And no DNFs as of yet. One thing that we get with a nice small quaint group of test drivers is everybody's still in it. Nobody's given up yet. I like that. So Taylor just dropped back a little bit. Perhaps he's noticed his tire wear. He's trying to conserve a little bit, maybe. We don't know. Maybe he had a bad sector. Be nice to have onboard comms with these guys. Be able to check it out. There is our 7th place car, Lauren Martin, crossing the start finish once again in 7th place. Hanging in there after that rough start. You can see he's got some damage. It's like he's right front fender. Maybe not. Maybe it was just an LOD issue, but it looked like he had a little bit of damage. All right. So Smith in 2nd place. He's pulling out a little bit of a gap now. What was under a second is now up to 1.7 on Taylor. So Taylor could be just regrouping, or maybe he's trying to conserve a little bit of fuel and a little bit of rubber. These guys are coming down to start finish once again. So Westy has caught Jones. It's going to be an overtake attempt here. In this tricky section. Samsung turn. As he does, he gets around on the outside. It's going to set him up. And he takes that spot away from Jones. And I'm sure Jones knew what was inevitable because of the pace that Westy had as he saw him. Jones is a very savvy driver. He knows his capabilities. He finds himself always up in the top 10 just through consistency alone. He might not be the fastest, but he's a very consistent driver. Really keeps it going. He's a great teammate. If he's on your team, he's going to get you good points all the time. So those guys have passed and now back up to this battle for second. As you can see, 1.6 is still the gap. So I think Rob Taylor wants to keep that gap from growing any bigger. As they do have coming up on Schill, the last place Ferrari, as he lets them through. There goes Smith and there goes Taylor. So Taylor burning a little bit of rubber getting around. That is part of the trickiest part of the track too. So meanwhile, Ekins, our leader, having a Saturday drive. No pressure from Westy. The mystery of Westy, we don't know what happened with the 2 stops so far. But I'm assuming he had to have gotten a penalty. Maybe he sped coming out of the pits after his pit stop and he waited the maximum laps to come in, because there was a few laps after that. We don't know. We can only guess. But Ericsson, 3rd place as Taylor's pitted. So as I speak again, we miss yet more action. So Taylor's first to pit of that top 3, or from 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. So there he is in the pits getting ready to finish this race with 37 minutes remaining. That moves Ericsson up into 3rd. It's about a 9-second gap to Mr. Smith in second. There is Smith. So now they're really spread out. And we will see what happens. See if Smith decides to come in right behind him, or like most of the drivers in these races, they usually wait. These GTEs, they take it all the way to the end and just splash and dash. But I'm betting that was part of the reason why Taylor was in trouble, because he had a little bit of tire wear, I'll bet you. And Westy's actually gotten around teammate now. Because there is Nick Westy. After 2 pit stops, take a fourth from Taylor. Taylor's in a little bit of trouble coming out there on cold tires, perhaps. As Ericsson's getting around to Silva, holding on to third. So Taylor behind his teammate Westy, coming out with fresh rubber now, I would assume, and enough fuel to finish this race if they got the fuel calculations right. You never know with LMU. If you're coming from, well, any sim for that matter, but R Factor 2 or ACC or Automobilista 2, you know, you add the fuel you want to add to what you got. So you got to retrain yourself for LMU. Got to put the number of that you want to leave the pits with in that window. So the drivers are spread out now. We have no challenges for positions at the moment. It's merely hit your marks. So let's go down from the top here. Here is your leader, Ekins. 5th place, Robin Taylor. Is that okay? Ekins pits from the lead. So let's see where this puts Hugh Smith, which is coming through that last sector, 13 to 14, going through Segres. But he's so far behind and is yet to pit is Hugh Smith. So if he can get through, which he probably will, Ekins still, as he makes it through the gap, and he's down the straight. And let's check on Ekins. Is Ekins rolling yet? Ekins is not rolling. So Smith is going to take over the lead of this race. That's going to move Barrett. Might get him too, as he is now rolling. So Ekins is rolling as Ericsson gets by. So here comes Ekins. He's ready to go to the end now. Coming out in 3rd place, which is just temporary, as we know that Ericsson and Hugh both have to pit to finish. So that's going to see how far back Westy is. Westy's quite a ways back, so I don't know if that's more than a pit stop or not. But we will see. As the new leader, Hugh Smith, is going to get a couple of laps led. There are points awarded for fastest lap in qualification and fastest lap in the race. So some more points to hand out in this test series for early access. As De Silva is coming back out of the pit. De Silva is in the pits. There is Lauren Martin. It's 7th, heading into sector 2. And the leader, Hugh Smith, down into the sector 3, 12, 13, 14 section. Let's see if we can see from the back. There is the gap. You can see that is Barrett Ericsson that we just got a glimpse of. Here we go down the start finish, and there is the difference between 1st and 2nd before their pit stops. So Ericsson, there he is. He's in the same zip code, but He's a ways back, so some 4 seconds back. De Silva's still in the pits. Jones goes through. And Westy with that 144.4 is still the fastest lap of the race. Currently in 4th now, so wow. If Westy can pull off some kind of a podium finish after 2 pit stops, that's some kind of driving. 3rd place Ekins, soon to be the leader once these guys pit. Looks like De Silva is still parked in there. I'm hoping that he is not out of this race. He's still parked. Maybe he has some damage we didn't see. Meanwhile, let's see if the leaders come in this lap. I have a feeling Ericsson might just do whatever the opposite that Smith does. Smith is in front. See if he sets himself up. It looks like staying out. Ericsson just behind him is also staying out, so he's going to stick with him. And we know Ekins already pitted as he crosses the line in 3rd place. And here comes Ed Jones across the line, 6th. Taylor in 5th. Teammate Westy pulling that gap a little bit, about almost 3 seconds now. There it is, 3-second gap to Black Cat teammate Westy, who is the points leader. This is your leader, Hugh Smith, as he goes through this Craig Jones Plottermayo section. Very tricky. What kind of views do we got here? I'm feeling... it's too bad I can't just add a little bit of rain here to throw these guys off. You can see Ericsson back there. Staying with them. Oh no, we've got 2 DNFs now. It looks like Martin and De Silva are both out of the race. So those 2 have thrown in the towel. With just under 30 minutes remaining. So sorry to see him go in such a small field, but it is what it is. If you can't make it, you can't make it. Sometimes it's just not worth it. Your car's that trashed. Sometimes equipment failure. We are in early access. There might be some wheel issues. But both those guys are out. And there's Ericsson. You can see the gap now. And some clouds are moving in. It's getting a little cloudy. So Ericsson's got that gap down to 1.4 for the lead, but these 2 are yet to pit as well. But this could be a finish. This could be the podium finish. This could be the 2nd and 3rd we're looking at after the pit stops. Unless Westy has something to say about it. But Westy is up good half a lap back, if not more. So the only chance Westy has is through the pit stops of Ericsson and Smith. If they get slowed in any way, it's going to allow Westy to catch up. And they're both leaders are staying out still as we hit the 26.5 minutes left. A little bit of pressure here from Ericsson. These guys have been fighting the entire race. It's been really good stuff. Into the Torre VIP. I think Ericsson's ready to make a move. And you can see Ecken has actually caught these guys, and he's already a pit stop ahead. So, and gaining on them as the gap is only, Ekins is only 2.5 seconds back. Oh, so we've got a little bit of a change here. Hugh. Things are getting a little greasy here. I think these guys are on some tire wear. You can see in the virtual mirror there is Ekins right behind Ericsson. We are looking through Ericsson's. There's his cockpit view. Okay, this could be the lap. It looks like Hugh is going to pit. He's set himself up. He is definitely coming in. So Hugh pits from the lead, leaving Ericsson to lead up. He's going to get a lead lap here if he crosses the line. But right on his tail is the already pitted and ready to finish Mark Ekins. So let's see what happens now. The battle for second place between the pit stops as Hugh Smith has undercut Ericsson. I think Ekins is probably going to, he might even get through before, but I would assume Ericsson is thinking about coming in himself. As Ekins has caught the unfitted Barrett Ericsson. And here comes Hugh Smith out of the pits with fourth place Nick Westy coming down the straight. Westy's going to get that spot. So Westy, 2 stops in, has taken over fourth over Hugh Smith. So let's see what the tire situation is going to be for the last 20 minutes of this race, 20 plus. As you can see, Ekins now pressuring Ericsson. Ericsson's got to be feeling it in those tires. And let's see if Barrett, indeed, looks like he's sticking to the inside. Is he going to stay out? We'll find out here. And he is coming in too, so he pitched right behind Hugh. So now it's going to be Mark Ekins back in the lead of this race for the last 23 minutes. You can just stick it out. But Barrett Ericsson's pitted. Westy in third. This is going to be the race. If Ericsson can get out in front of Westy or just behind to stay on the podium, and it's going to cost Hugh Smith, but Robin Taylor also right there in fourth. So Ericsson's rolling. He's had a good pit stop. I think he's going to get out in second. I don't see those guys. They're not there yet. So he's getting up to speed. Here comes Westy at full speed and hot tires on top of that. And remember, he's on the mediums. So you can see there is Ericsson out front of Westy. So Taylor also in front of Smith. Oh, in the fifth place car, Hugh Smith, he's had it off. Oh, remember, he's on fresh rubber too, so he got it all wrong there. Oh, coming out of Lagos into turn 4, he got it all wrong, and that's going to cost him dearly. That is going to ice it for Ericsson to keep it. As long as Ericsson doesn't have any mishaps, he's going to keep himself on the podium. Westy might have something to say. He's only 3.5 seconds back. So we're going to battle for the podium within this last 20 minutes. Westy's got to make up that 3-second gap that we know. And he has the fastest lap of this race, a 144.4. So interesting development here. Of course, Ekins, all Ekins has to do is just keep driving, man. He is so far out in front now. He's a pit stop plus ahead of these guys. So brilliant run by Ekins today. So this is his race to win. All he's got to do is keep hitting his marks for the last 20 minutes of this race. And Ericsson finding himself in second place as we speak. And remember, he's in second place in the points ahead of Westy, who is some 3 seconds behind him right there. So Ericsson desperately needs to keep Westy behind him to gain a little momentum in the points situation. But that's not going to be an easy task, as we know how fast Westy is. And Taylor in fourth. That's the gap back to Westy, his teammate, actual, as they head into VIP. So some racing yet to be done here. As we look back at fifth place Hugh Smith with that unfortunate off, it cost him probably a chance at least competing for that third or fourth spot. But we'll see what happens in the next 19 minutes and 33 seconds. Their second place car, Ericsson, holding that 3.5 second gap over Westy. There is Westy. His teammate Taylor seems to have kind of closed the gap. He's only a 1.5 seconds back is Rob and Taylor. So Westy on those mediums, he pitted some almost 30 minutes ago, right? Oh, the tires are screaming for mercy on that exit turn of Jalap. So maybe Westy's tire wear is coming into play. The mediums are pretty sturdy, but they're not as quick as the softs. But the softs just don't have the lifespan that the mediums have. So if Taylor's got anything for him, he's going to have to go get it right now and then spend his tires. There's 18 minutes and 20 seconds left, roughly. So see what happens here in this battle for the podium. Is Westy's. And then there is Ericsson. There is second place right there. Take a jump back here to sixth place to Ed Jones. Hanging in there, consistent. Hugh Smith is about a half a lap out front, so no threat there. But here, Taylor staying with teammate Westy. As Ericsson's just able to hold that gap steady at about 3.8 now. Taylor's gap to Westy has increased to 2.9, almost 3 seconds now. He had it down to a second and a half per minute. As I see Westy smoking his tires a little bit, as does Taylor. Oh, these tires are screaming for mercy. You gotta love these longer races. I mean, this is not really anything like an endurance race. But 75 minutes is a pretty good test. So the gaps are going the wrong way for the chasers and the right way for the leaders, as Ericsson's gap to Westy is now 3.5 and Westy's gap to Taylor is 2.7. Anything can happen here though. It's a difference of tire. You can see, let's check the tires really quick. Yep, so Ekins is on the softs. We don't care. He's way up there. But Taylor, Smith, and Jones are all on softs. Westy's on those mediums. And then Ericsson's got that strange hybrid mix. So, seems to be working for him, though. That gap to Westy from Taylor is 2.2. All right, we are under 15 minutes remaining in this LMU Early Access Test Series at Sim Racing Online. Ericsson, second place. You can see just in the foreground there, Westy. It's kind of got this cool camera view from LMU. It's almost like a Healy cam, kind of. I think there's a couple of them to choose from. Here's another track side. As they head down the start finish straight with just under 14 minutes remaining. So Ericsson's gap over Westy is now just about 5 seconds. As we jump back here to Taylor, you'll be able to see his teammate Westy up there in the Ferrari. And it's just a nice Saturday drive for Mark Ekins. Let's follow the leader, Mark, on a cockpit lap here from start finish. Let's just watch how he takes some of these turns. He's just had brilliant pace and consistency today. So as he heads down into Primera turn 1, dropping into second gear there. Off the curb at 2 into Lagos 3. Does he go down to first? Yes, he goes down to first. Looking really nice through there. Just holding momentum. Slight lift just up the hill there to turn 4, just to keep the inertia going. First gear into Torrevip. And now this little more technical section here. 6, 7, and 8. Turn 8 right here, Samsung. And then the blind uphill down to the slight lefty. It's called Craig Jones, turn 9. This is Craig Jones. So something must have happened to Craig Jones right here. As they get up to Portameo. Turns 10 and 11. It's a really tricky top of the hill section. Back down another elevation change. And up into the extremely tight 13. And then Segres, turn 14. You gotta be just right to get on the gas afterwards. And let's see how he holds it in here if he has to lift. Just one little lift right there to hold the apex, and then back on the gas. So there's a lap by our leader, Mark Ekens. Nicely done in the vet. Meanwhile, Ericsson here's increased that gap to almost just 5 seconds over Nick Westy in third. Here is Robin Taylor chasing Nick Westy, and that gap consistently right about 2.2. Like I said, he did have it down in under 2 seconds there, a few laps back, but we're hitting the 10 minutes to go right now. There's the tires screaming for mercy. It'd be great to be able to see some tire wear. There's probably an app for that. Maybe Tiny Pedal. I'm using Tiny Pedal for the track map. It's pretty cool. You have to use screen capture for it though, so yeah, that's why it goes away when I click back into OBS. Because otherwise you'll have the 1,000 mirror syndrome. And there, Westy just right there. Let's see if I can find that cool KLN cam. This is inside of Westy's Ferrari. As you can see, Ericsson just ahead up there. Then if we look behind, there is Mr. Taylor right there. Here is our leader Ekens taking the Torre VIP, turn 5 hairpin. And not too far behind him is Ed Jones, heading now into Sector 2. There's the sector line right there. And Hugh Smith crossing the start-finish line from 5th. And then back to Robin Taylor chasing Nick Westy. That gap is now almost 4 seconds. It's 3.8. The Westy they're pulling away, or those tires on Taylor's car are starting to go. losing a little bit of pace. So Westy with the best lap of the race at 144.4, but our leader, Mark Ekins, his best lap is at 144.5, so just a tenth off is the difference. And I think it was the consistency of Ekins, as we are watching him now, that kept him in the lead. Remember that first lap challenge when Westy actually took it away from him, but then outbraked himself into turn one, which ended up putting him behind, and then he was never able to catch back up. And then we don't know what happened with the 2 pit stops, but he's on the podium right now after making 2 stops, so that says a lot right there. There is Nick West. He's currently in third. We're making a push for Ericsson, but he's about 5 seconds back. There is Ericsson. Let's see if we can get that tail cam from Ericsson. There it is. No sign of Westy. Be able to see him. There he is. Okay. Oh, we're coming up on 5 minutes. It's been a long race with a small field. Really good driving today by all 6 of these finishers. It's too bad we lost Jill and Lauren. Well, we'll see what happens when we get into the GT3 testing. We get some bigger fields. Like I said, this started out with huge fields. We had almost 30 in the first race. So here is Ericsson crossing the start finish with just under 5 minutes remaining. All he's got to do is bring it home. He'll have a nice second place finish over Nick Westy, who he's chasing for the points title. So he'll be able to move himself up a little bit. And then the next race, of course, is a night race at Bahrain. So that should throw a wrench in the spokes. You can see the glowing brakes of Westy there. The gap is increasing. It's up to 6.2 now. So Ericsson should be home free for second place if he just can maintain. And the gap back to Taylor from Westy is now 5. So meanwhile, Ekins just keeps cranking out the laps. He's got 40-second gap on Ericsson and the rest of the field. So just a few laps remaining here. I know we got a good mix of different types of computers here, so I think Ericsson's on NVIDIA's last series, the 2 series, I believe. And he has posted on our website a lot of the settings he's had to make this game, you know, look pretty darn good with decent frames. So now, if you got modern hardware, of course, these newer games play pretty darn good. I haven't had any issues with any of the new releases, even the Assetto Corsa Evo. I'm streaming in 1440 on a 4090, and Le Mans Ultima runs great on it. I haven't had any issues. AMS2 runs great, no issues. And I haven't had any problems with Assetto Corsa Evo as well. All right, we're hitting the 2-minute mark. And where is the leader? Here he is. Let's see, with a minute 44 are the lap times, I believe. Once he crosses the line, it'll probably be more than one to go because maybe not. The clock's ticking. 1:48. So if he slows his pace down, this will be the last lap of the race. But if not, there'll be two more. This plus one more. Comes second place Ericsson. Finishing up through sector 3 here, coming down into that Segres into Jalap, turn 15. I'm going to say it in 5 or 10 different ways. It's GLAP, but I don't know. If it's Portuguese, Glape, who knows? And here's third place Nick Westy. As we are under a minute to go at the Portimao Algarve, round 5, scoring round 4. As Mr. Ekins is in sector 3 now with 42 seconds on the clock. So see if he's paying attention. He might just lift to end of the madness now. And save us from a lap. 29 seconds to go. It looks like this could be the checkered. But like I said, I think he's going to cross it before the clock ticks. It's got 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. And he crossed the line. So now it's white flag. Last lap. Last chance to dance. And here is Ericsson, your second place car, with a 5-second gap over Westy. And Westy now has 10 seconds on Taylor, who probably had a little bit of a mishap back here, or his tires are completely toast, as we heard him screaming for mercy. Hugh Smith's in 5th, still hanging in there. Nicely done. 6th place Ed Jones. And then with the 2 DNFs. So here is your leader here on his last lap, which is pretty much a victory lap at this point. Ran a really good race today, very consistent. Fastest lap of the day is still going to go to Nick Westy unless Ekins can do something right here. As he's going through turn 13, coming up to Segres for the last time. Turn 14, this big bender. Open it up into turn 15, coming down the start finish. Here is your race winner, Mark Ekins, about to take the checkered. Here is your winner at Algarve, Mark Ekins, winner of round 5. Beautiful run. Well deserved. And the second place, Barrett Erickson is coming up as Ed Jones is trying to stay on that lap. Not get lopped by the second place car. And it looks like Jones is going to probably stay ahead of him here. Jones is going to finish in 6th. It's just ahead of Ericsson here, as you see as he comes down the start finish for the last time in second place. Barrett Ericsson, there he is, right there second, and here comes Nick Westy right behind him. Taking third place. Well done, Nick Westy, after 2 stops. Probably had a penalty and still got on the podium. And here comes Black Cat teammate Robin. Taylor taking 4th as he takes the checker. And then Hugh Smith bringing it up home the last remaining car just now coming through the second half of Sector 3, going into turn 15. As he takes the checker. And there it is. So here are your session results. Whoops, hello, we didn't want that. That's what happens if I don't turn off the track map. There we go. Ekins, Erickson, Westy, Taylor, Hugh Smith, Ed Jones, Lauren Martin, and Gilles De Silva. That's it for today. What a race. Thanks for hanging in there. Holy smokes, 75 minutes. So in 2 weeks, we'll be at Bahrain. So hopefully we'll have a little bit larger grid to make it a little more interesting for everybody. And on that note, I am going to get the heck out of here. Thanks for watching. I've been your host, Rob Milliken for Sim Racing Online. And don't forget, next Sunday we will have round 2 of the second series of the GTE and Pro Car and the P2 class in R Factor 2 for the World Series, the Sim Racing Online World Series. And that will be Series 2, Round 2 of the GTEs and P2 class. All right, thanks for hanging in there, and I will check you on the next one.